is anyone from beginner to lower intermediate. If there's any questions, feel free to ask me at any time, either chat or just, unmute your mic. I feel like there's some questions going on now. Okay. And also, you should have some experience with R. I know that kind of is counterintuitive, but just, know what R is and can have some experience with R Studio. That's what I more specifically mean. And then having experience with GitHub will be useful. You do not have to have a GitHub account for deploying your website, but I will explain why it might be a good idea to get one if you want to deploy your site in a particular way. Oops. So first things first. I put the link to the materials in the chat. So is everyone able to access those materials? Okay. So let's just get an overview of what you're getting yourself into today. So this is the Our Lady St. Louis repository that I made. And as I click the R Markdown tutorial, you have the units 1, units 2, and then just an example template that we're going to look at shortly. And then just this README document. So you can access the slides right here. And then, the slides we're just going to give you an overview. And we have 2 units. Unit 1, creating an R Markdown document. So I'll just show you an example of what that looks like. And we'll give you time to make your R Markdown document. So you'll just go through this tutorial and follow the instructions. And I also have the same for part 2, which is creating a blog down site. But don't worry, I will also demo these so you won't be too overwhelmed with the process. So if you haven't opened our studio, I would do so now just to have it open. And it's better to be safe than sorry. So I would just install, like if you're sure that you have R Markdown and blogdown, you don't need to install the packages. But if you do not, then you need to type this in your console so you can make sure that you have the proper packages. And then if you're getting error messages about packages, then just make sure to add the dependencies equal true. So making an R Markdown document. So I'm going to advise you to save all of your materials in a folder in a location of your choosing and name it R Markdown _ Our Ladies STL, because the way the tutorials and the demos that I'm going to show, it's going to have a particular file structure, and you'll be able to easier follow along by just having a folder with all your materials, because the amount of materials you're going to create is going to get bigger and bigger. So when you create an R Markdown document, it's made up of various components. You first have the Yamo metadata, and Yamo stands for YAML 8 markup language. And so metadata is data about data. And as you can see, I have the title and the author and then the output. And this is very important when it comes to actually doing a process called knitting your document. And so then you have a code chunk, which is, which is signified by the 3 apostrophes with R, because you can also sometimes create, like if you want Python or C++, you can do that too. So R, and the setup is the name of your chunk, and then include equals false means not to include the actual code. And then, I'm sorry, it just keeps on, my mouse is sensitive. And the next section is the text. And this is the actual area where you create the R Markdown, like you use R use Markdown to create your document and your text. And then as you can see, there's another code chunk. So I'm about to do a demo on how to just create an Markdown document. So I'm just going to change my screen share to my R Studio interface. Can everyone see my R Studio interface? Excellent. So the way I create an R Markdown document is I'm just going to go here and create R Markdown. And then after that, as you can see, I have the window where it says document, and then I have the author. So the default output we want is HTML. And so I'm just going to click OK. And as you can see, I have this template that's already made for me. I'm just going to go ahead and delete everything minus the YAML. So right now I'm going to just change some things. For example, I'm going to change the title to About Me, and I'll keep the author and the date and the output. So one nice thing about our Markdown is that you can use the headers that you see in HTML. So for example, if I want to create a document about me, I can use a header 1, which is signified by 1 hashtag. And I'll just write this. And then if I want to make a header 2, then that would be 2 hashtags. And so let's just say I'm going to just put my name and then just put that. And then after that, you can just go ahead and create other components that you want. So I'm just doing the exercise that you will be doing for exercise 1. And so then we're going to I just keep on going down. So I'm just going to write the biography and then research interests. So there's many things that you can do in terms of our Markdown, in terms of italicizing things. So for example, if I wanted to do just italicize, I would just have 1 star and then just have that. And that signifies that it is italicized. And then also you can make it an unordered list. An ordered list. And then the second one, like if I want to bold something, I do 2 stars. And then it's just pretty much, I'll just stop here because I want you to have as much time as possible to do this. So now I'm going to save my document. And what I want to do, like I said before, I want to create that R Ladies R Markdown _ R Ladies St. Louis. So let me just put that in a location that is convenient to me. So let me just go back to R Ladies, and I'm just going to create a new folder and call it R Markdown R Ladies STL create. And then I'm just going to call this About Me. And then it's saved. So now the next thing that we're going to do is to knit it. And when you knit something, you're combining R code and you're combining the YAML in order to create this HTML document. So I'm going to press the knit button up here and press knit to HTML. And as you can see, let's see if I can see it in a viewer. I'm not sure if you can see the window, so let me just change to sharing. So as you can see, I have this basic R Markdown document. Can you see it? Okay, so as you can see, this is, wow, I have myself like, yeah, that was duplication. So this is the YAML metadata. And then this is a header 1 with 1 hashtag. And then a header 2, and then just my name. And then more header 2s. And as you can see, the public health is italicized. And also you see there is a bullet point for my list. And then also this is bolded. So let me just go back to the slides. Hold on one second. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to find my slides. Here we go. Can you see the slides? Oh, wait, here we go. Can you see the slides now? It should be, okay, thank you. So I'm just gonna do a knowledge check. So if I wanted to have a header 1 to a title, what would be the correct markdown to do that? Would it be A, B, C, or D? I see a lot of B's. And you are correct. It is B, title. So A, that is, again, that's bold. And then C is italicized. And then 2 hashtags is a header 2. So for your exercise, you're going to create a basic R Markdown document with these components. So your name, a short biography, interests, education, and hobbies. Because we want to not only want you to have exposure on using R Markdown, I want you to start just building this online persona that you want to create with your website in a simple R Markdown document so you can just have. And you can refer to Unit 1 and the R Markdown About Me template to help you make your document. And then after creating your document, you can press the knit button. And I'm not sure, Janine, how many minutes I should give for this. Maybe 10 minutes?
I was going to say 10 minutes.
Okay.
People, when they start getting finished, if you want to type done in the chat, if we start seeing a bunch of those, we can move forward quicker or take longer.
Right. So we will we'll be here. Janine will be here. I'll be here. If you have any questions, let me know. And also the units are pretty concise, but if there's any kind of questions, just let me know, but I'll be around. So I'm just going to put in the chat what time we're going to reconvene.
I put the link to the Unit 1 directly into the chat as well.
Use Git. And not all Hugo themes mesh well with blogdown. How do you know that? Is trial and error. I've gone through several Hugo themes that I started out with, and I was like, okay, I really like this theme, but then there was a point of no return, so I just, scratched that theme off and just built a new site with new ones. So if that happens to you, you are not alone. That has happened before and will continue to happen. And the file structures of the themes can be tricky. So today we're just going to all work on one theme, but if you want to create a different theme than that, then go on ahead. But for the sake of this workshop, we're going to just work with one theme. But pretty much this is the basic steps on which you would create like your personal website. So the first step is to find a Hugo theme you want to use. Like I said before, for this workshop, we're using one theme called Academic. And then the second step is to generate a blogdown site using your chosen theme in RStudio. And I'll show you 2 ways to do that. And then the third step is to deploy your site. So I want to just give some examples of sites that I have created. So this is my site. Oh, wow. Whoa, what happened to it? I haven't updated it in a while, so this might not be the best one. But it usually looks a lot better than that, so I don't know what really happened. But I do know, I'll just delete that. Oh, here we go. It just took time to load. So this is my site, and it uses the introduction theme. Usually there's like some kind of like the text, the "Hi, I'm Doris" fades in, but it could be my internet's just being slow. And I have my about section here and my interest, and then my showcase, which I also created using blogdown. And then I have all of my blog posts here. So another example I want to show you is this project that I did for my dissertation called Her Map, which is a map for women veterans, and it's a map of health and education resources. This uses the Kubo theme. And going back to what I said about HTML and CSS, I do know some HTML and CSS. So I changed the buttons to correspond with the graphic that I have for my map. Because originally this was pretty much white and blue. So again, it doesn't hurt to know a little CSS if you really want to customize your site. So I'm going to show you now how to make a site. So let me just stop my share, and I'm just going to share my whole desktop. It's kind of scary. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is go to my location of my my rmarkdown rladies _ rladies stl. Can everyone see this, by the way? I forgot to ask that. Okay, so like I said before, it's very important to have everything organized. So I have my About Me rmarkdown document here, and now I'm going to just create a new folder and just call it My Website. And all of my information about my website is going to be stored here. So I'm just going to minimize this window and then just focus on my RStudio interface. So like I said, there's 2 ways to create an rmarkdown, a website using blogdown. So the first way that you can do it is, you're not going to be able to see this, but you're going to go up to File, New File, and then, File, New Project, and then Create Project. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it. So the first way, it's an easier way. You just click on, I'm just going to go back, New Directory. And then website using blogdown. So has everyone gotten to this point yet? Because I don't want to go too fast. Okay, great. So the next thing I want to do is create a directory. So I'm going to name the directory. It is also listed that you name this as well, just to be consistent. I'm going to just name this About Me. And so as you can see, it's saved in my subdirectory of that is not the right subdirectory. So I'm going to go to the right one, which is the My Website folder, which again is under rmarkdown _ rladies STL. I want to keep everything checked with the exception of convert all metadata to YAML. Sometimes this can cause some problems, so this is why I just have it unchecked. So the Hugo theme that we're going to use, like I said, is academic. And let's see if I can find what academic looks like on it. Oops. Cannot find it. I'm just going down on Hugo to try to find that academic theme. If not, we will just go along with it. Let's see. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mary. I was just like, where is it?
Mary put a link to the academic theme in the chat for those
Thank
of
you.
who are
Yeah, much appreciated. So now I'm just screen saving to the academic theme. And I just want to give you a breakdown on how you are going to obtain the information you need to create your website. Because if you see in your new project window, you need to enter a Hugo theme. So always I like to go to the home page. And well, this one's more, hold on. I'm going to go to the download, which gives me the link to the GitHub repo in which I can download the theme. You don't need to do anything here. You just need to know that the way that you add a theme is that you use the username. So this is gcushion, and then you have the \, and then Hugo Academic. You have to type that in exactly the way you see it, because if you forget one thing, it's going to mess up. So let me just go back to my RStudio. So since I want this gcushion, make sure I spell it right too, CUSHEN, and then I don't need to change that. I just need to change academic. Another thing I like to keep checked is add the example site of the theme, because pretty much when it comes to blogdown sites, I consider the sample site to be a roadmap in which you can use to create your own site. Because like I said before, every template has its own way, its own file structure, and you can easily see this file structure when you add the example site. So has everyone gotten to this point where they have the Hugo theme as gcushion / Hugo - academic? Great. So here we go. Create project. And now it is downloading from that repo. And now you have a TOML, like a config.toml. This is pretty much, how can I say this? it's kind of gives you like it's like allows you to give, you're configuring your website through this TOML. And I forgot what, so TOML stands for Tom's Obvious Minimal Language. So this is an easy to read format that parses and data structures for a variety of programming languages. So it reads from 1 to, in this case, it will be HTML. So we're not going to really change anything, but I will want to show you how to deploy your site. Oh, it's my screen sharing policy. Okay. So the next thing that we need to do is to click on, under the add-ins, we click on Serve Site. Now this can be tricky. Like sometimes problems occur. So please let me know if there's a problem when your site's being served and you get an error, and we can work through it. But I'm going to click Serve Site and cross my fingers. And it takes some time to render because, again, it's downloading. And the nice thing about this is that you can actually see a preview of your site in your viewer. So was everyone able to get the academic website to run in your viewer? Excellent. And I'm going to show you what happens in that my_website folder. Well, the About Me folder, I'm sorry, when you served your site. So let me just change back to share screen and just go back to my desktop. So I'm going to go to my About Me now. Can everyone see the About Me? Okay. So as you can see, all of these folders appeared. So you have the config, which, like some of these, I'm going to just be honest, I don't know what they do. But because I don't use the academic template, so I'm not entirely sure. But this is when you would probably use the, let's see if I can find the example site. So here we go. So I just want to show you again where I found that. Themes, Cuba Academic, example site. And I would, like I said before, just check the contents of these folders and just see how things are configured. So for example, content, let's see, publication, conference papers. So let me just open one up and just see what we're dealing with. So just open, and then I think I was in content, and let's just look at publications, and let's just see what they have in here. So as you can see, this is the rmarkdown for that. And let me see if I can find this in here. I think it was publications. I guess like, because yeah, again, this is an example site. Okay. So let's see. So this is the publications. Oh, here we go. So as you can see, like here's the example conference paper. And as you can see, the title corresponds to it. And then if you look at the authors, it has admin, which is probably the Nelson, the guy is probably, yeah, this guy's probably the admin. And then Robert Ford. And then after that, it says, like you just add in the information. And as you can see, the abstract here is the abstract here, at least some of it. Wait, I'm sorry, shortened summary. Oh, how do I get the viewer? Did you click on the did you do the add-ins and do the serve site? Because once you serve the site, if you just click on the viewer tab, you should be able to see the website. Were you able to get to the viewer? Okay, great, great. So yeah, as you can see, there is all of these components. So I'm gonna show you a second way of doing it. So I'm just gonna get out of this, and I'm actually, just for the sake of keeping everything clean, I highly, highly, highly recommend that if you're just playing around with sites, you keep everything in one folder. Because if you put, like, if you create another site and you create it in like this folder, it can really mess things up. So what I'm gonna do is just right click, create a new folder, and I'm gonna be very unoriginal and just call it About Me Too, and show you the second way to actually start a site. Again, it's all depends on preference. There were times, and I guess it was just my computer setup, that I tried the first one and it didn't work that well. And so I was just like, oh, this is really frustrating. So I tried the second one and it worked. So it's really up to you what you like, what your workflow is. So let me show you the second one. And I am going to go to File, New Project, and then I'm going to do a project from the existing directory. And then I'm just going to browse and go to my About Me Too and create my project. So now I just have this blank slate. And so one way I can do this, first let me just check if I have blogdown. Most likely I do, because I just use that. No. So I'm just going to click blogdown. Sometimes like it does not load, so you might get errors. So always just check to see if you actually have the package loaded. So another way that you can create a site, so we're still going to work with academic, is we can just type in blog down 2 colons, new site, and then theme equals, oops, G. So did everyone get to the point where they created, let's just say, an About Me Too, and they have this typed in? I'm just gonna wait until I get some yeses before I press enter. Okay, thank you, Wei. So I'm just gonna go ahead and press enter, and it's doing the same thing. And then what's going on here? So the main, is this the same? Yeah, it's the same theme. Like if you want to try something different, that's fine. It's just for this tutorial, this workshop, I'm just using academic. But just feel free to do it with whatever theme. Just remember to put, it's a little small. If you can, let's see. I think I can do that. How is that? How's the, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I should have asked first. So, yeah. So again, going back to your question, Mary, just make sure that you have the name of the person, and then the backslash, and then whatever you see in the repo, that's what you need to put. The main difference between doing this and the other way is that you don't have the config.toml just popping up. So you are going to have to just open that. But as you can see in About Me Too, I have everything that I need. So I'm just going to click open, and there you are. So I'm just going to go back to my slides. Okay, can everyone see my slides? Okay, excellent. So now time for a little knowledge check. Given we just did this, if you could put your answer in the chat. So you want to create a new site using academic. So what would go in the, oh, okay, Sam, yes. Congrats. Right. So let me just show the answer. So yes, you just need to have new underscore site and then theme equals G cushion Hugo dash academic. So great job, everyone. So now we're going to make a personal website using blogdown. For the tutorial, I use academic, but this is do what you want with this workshop. So you can choose whatever theme you want from Hugo and just start messing around with it. I get a mini UI update message. Try doing it, it does not work. Can you put the actual message in the chat? Oh, and everybody, if you, I'm gonna give maybe, Janine, how many minutes? Maybe like 20 minutes for this? You think can we do like breakout rooms or something like that? I don't, and go from room to room.
I can do breakout rooms automatically with 4 people per room. I'm not sure how you go from room to room.
I think because I did this earlier this week, I think because you made me the whatever, that I'll be able to go from room to room.
Okay, I'll make some breakout rooms then. Does that sound good? You can go check in with each one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So is everyone fine with doing breakout rooms? So, if you have any questions, you can ask me in a small group and we can just talk about what, templates you're using and things like that. I don't really know anything about that message. I always just type yes. I mean, so Netafly is a very, very quick way to build a site. And you can just either sign up through, I don't need to sign up because I already have an account, but you can sign up either with your GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, or email. I signed up with my GitHub because my website is continuously deployed on Netafly. And unfortunately, we don't have time to get into that. And I didn't want to get into it anyway, because I know some people don't have experience with GitHub. So I don't want to put that barrier up for people who are just trying to get used to using this, and then they have to use something else. So I'm going to show a very simple way to deploy your site. So let me just log in. And then, yeah, I have all of these deploys. So one thing that I am going to show you, let me just go to my folder. Let's stop share, new share, go to about me. Okay, so I'm in my about me. I'm just going to go back to the regular about me. I'm in my about me folder. Now, I don't know, someone was having problems with deploying it before. Hopefully this will answer your questions like when I deploy it. So it is very important that this public folder is a folder that you want to have to put on Netlify. So you just need to serve your site, and when you serve your site, it is going to create all of these things for you that you do not have to create. You don't have to create JavaScript. You don't have to create XML or HTML or anything like that, because Hugo does it all for you. Blogdown does it all for you. But this is all, you need this public folder in order to deploy your site. So, and all you're going to do is a simple drag and drop. So let me just go back to my Netlify. All right, so this is how you do this. So sometimes this site can be a little tricky, in my opinion. So the first thing that you need to do is to log in to Netlify. And then after that, you will see this. Well, you might not see this because I have all this stuff, but you are going to see this box that says, want to deploy a new site without connecting to Git? Drag and drop your site folder here. So again, it is very important to get your public folder. And I'm just going to drag it and drop it. So now it's like doing its thing. And you should get this, this happy folder, which is a good sign. And so another thing that we need to do is have site settings. So I'm going to actually go to my whole screen to do this. So in order to get this to correctly deploy, and when I first deployed, like when I first started doing this, I had the biggest problems because I did not follow this step. And I wasted so much time, and it was a simple fix. So, well, simple. So I go to site settings. And then after that, I am going to go to build and deploy. So then I'm going to scroll down to the environment variables. And then I'm going to click on edit variables. Now, I need to make sure that the deploy is based on the right version of Hugo that I have on my RStudio. And sometimes this can be, like sometimes another problem with deployment is that you don't have the most updated version of Hugo. So I'm just gonna go into my console, and then I'm just gonna go blogdown Hugo version, and then it's going to tell me that I need 0.68.3, but you don't need, I think you only need to do 0.68, which I will show you by, let me just get back in here. All right, so we need to change the key. I mean, we need to add a key. So we need to add a key and call it Hugo_version. And then my value was 0.683. So I don't need to put the 0 point. I just need to put the 0.68. That's all I need to put. And then I am going to click save. Again, I highly recommend that you always update your Hugo version, because if you don't, there's a huge chance that it will fail. So the next thing I'm going to do is click on overview, and it gives me back to where I was at before. And so let's just say I want to change my name. Like Netlify always gives a random web address, but maybe I want to change it to something else. So let me just go back. I think I went too fast. So I click on domain settings, and then I click on custom domain, and then I can just do, I Oh wait, that's not what I wanted. Sorry. So options, edit site name. This is like if you actually have, like, for example, GoDaddy, or you actually have a domain name and you want to add it, you can use this. But I meant to click this instead. So this part is going to change. So I'm just going to call it, I don't know, about me. I don't know, at .netify.com. And then after that, let me go back to overview. So now it says about med.netify.com, and I'm just going to click on it. And as you can see, that the site that I had in rmarkdown, the site I had in RStudio is now actually deployed online. And again, I didn't change anything, just for brevity, but as you can see, it's online. So I'm gonna, let me see if I can get the chat. For the person who had problems with the deployment, did you have this, could you just tell me if you can do it? But in the meanwhile, I want everybody to, well, first answer the knowledge check. So which folder do you have to add to Netify to deploy your site? Right, it is public. It is very important. Everything has to be knitted into the public folder, or else it's just going to not work. So it's the same, like I don't want to get too deep in the weeds with continuous deployment. It's the same thing for GitHub. So if you're going to have a GitHub and you're going to deploy your site from GitHub, it is the public site. It is a public folder. I would just, like, personally, I just upload everything in like my about me folder just to be safe. Better be safe than sorry. But that content for the public folder has to be there. So good job, everyone. So for exercise 3, you're going to actually deploy your site. And so I got oh, okay. Well, okay. It's a public site that I use, and for GitHub, it's the public that knits the HTML. But if it works, then that's fine. But Netify takes everything from the public, because that's where all the HTML and JavaScript and XML is located. So bare minimum, you have to do that. And like I said before, in GitHub, I just upload everything. Let's see if I can actually, I'm going to show you quickly while, do we want to do breakout rooms again? Oh, that's what I mean with the whole folder. It did not work. Thanks. If I have changes, how do I upload it? You just drag, so you do you save your information. So like if you updated something in Markdown, you just click the save button and it will automatically, well, I have it where it automatically deploys, but it should really do that, because like if you click serve site, it should automatically just update. I am confused about where do I make the changes to the website content. So when it comes to the website content, every site is different. So if I just want to give you something to work off of, and you're using, Sam, are you using academic? Okay, let me just find something that might be easy for you to just kind of start with. Okay, let's see. So I would go into, which one do I have? I'm trying to think which one would be best. Okay, I have one. I have one that you can work on. So if you go to, oops, if you go to the home folder, I'm gonna just, and then if you go to about, so let me just share my whole thing because I don't want to be confusing. So I'm in the content folder of academic, and I'm going to go to home. And then after that, I'm going to just click on about. So I'm just going to go RStudio, open file, and I'm going to go find that about page. So that's under home again, content, home, about. And let's see what page this corresponds with. Okay, so this corresponds with choose a true user profile to display. So this should, so as you can see, I opened up this about, and then it says, oh, please choose the user profile to display. This should be the username of a profile in your content/authors folder. So another thing worth pointing out is that a lot of the Markdown documentation that comes with the website actually tells you what to do. So it says, let's go to content authors. So why don't we do that? Go to File, Open File. I'm going to go back to Content. And then I'm going to go to Authors. And then it said to choose a profile. So I'm guessing that the index is the profile of the admin. So I guess Nelson's the admin. And as you can see, this Nelson Bighetti is a professor of artificial intelligence. If you want to change something and have the About Me section and add that information from part 1, I would suggest that you just add it here. So is that helpful, or was that too fast? But yeah, that's where I start out about that. Yeah. So again, each website is a roadmap to each theme has a roadmap. Yeah. Yeah. It's really, that's why I like to have the viewer, because it really helps me figure out what is what. Because there's just no way I would be able to just do it magically. Like I wouldn't know that, oh, like I wouldn't know that I needed to change that if I didn't get this prompt to do it. And also, again, it's worth saying again that going on the repo also has a lot of good information. And then also checking out the example site. But yeah, it is a massive website with a lot of things. I think I was telling Oscar this before, that academic used to be a simple theme, but they have had a, like this template has had a big update these last couple of years, because it used to be just really simple, where it was like you're just, oh, put a picture and then just like a single page summary. But now I guess it was so popular that the person who maintains this theme was just said, hey, I'm gonna just update it to a whole new level. So did anybody have any issues with deploying their site? Or I know some people have deployed their site. Have other people had the chance to deploy their site? And if there's any just other questions as well? Oh, great. If I create too many, oh, I've done that so many times. So I've done that so many times. Okay, so we're gonna go back to There's so many sites that I have. Okay. Okay, so let's just say I just want to get rid of this. Where is it? What did I do? Hold on. Okay, here we go. So overview, site settings, and then I'm just going all the way down. And it says, once you delete a site, there's no going back. Well, fine. Oh, and they really want you to be certain that you want to delete your site, which I appreciate, because sometimes I might be moving too fast and I might accidentally delete the wrong site. So it tells me to confirm. And then I click delete and voila, it is deleted. So very, very easy to delete a site. I mean, I really do like Nailfly because I can change my website name to anything I want, and I don't have to pay extra money for that. But if you have a domain you've been using and you want to move towards a Netlify deploy, you can do that as well. So are there any other questions? Because I believe that if not, that is the end. So I just really want to use this last 11 minutes to work through some of the issues. When we change things in our content folder, will it change the output of the public folder? That's a very good question. So are you talking, okay, so when you change things in your content folder, and because you served your site in the beginning, and once you click push the save button on RStudio, it's gonna automatically update the output of, oh, thanks, Kim. But yeah, like anytime you save that document, it's gonna update in the public folder. So yes, so whatever changes you make, it'll change the public folder, because that's the HTML and JavaScript and all that stuff that we don't have to deal with. So is there any other questions? And if I think, I don't know, maybe Janine can share this information. Yeah, you only need to serve the site one time. You know, for Oscar, and I think someone else had this, like, if you're still having these problems after even trying that, feel free to, I guess I should have like put my email, but yeah, and we can see, oh, I sent it to one person. Sorry. I mean, I can see what Googling I can do in terms of that, but I think like what Janine said, if you just, it might be an OS issue, it might be an R version issue, it might be an RStudio version issue. So if you're still having those issues after doing all those updates, let me know, and I'll just take a look into it and see what's going on, and just try my best to help out in any way. Are there any other questions? Has anyone was able to do what Mary was mentioning about updating things and then they show up? Like if you update your biography, it actually shows up as that? Oh, you're welcome, Sam. Oh, great, great, great. But yeah, again, it can be daunting to start working on your page, but the more and more you work on your page, the more and more that you're going to become very familiar with that page, and you're going to know it in and out. I remember when I had to add that Google Analytics portion to one of my pages, I had no idea how to do it, but I knew the nuts and bolts of my website just because I've been working on it so long. So it was actually quicker for me to find the answer on how to add the Google Analytics and put it in there than, say, you know, me maybe like when I first deployed the site. Oh, where do I upload the About Me or Markdown file? Oh, you don't need to do that. That was just more practice in terms of just getting used to the Markdown syntax. So you don't need to upload that file anywhere. Yeah, that was just more of a practice because I didn't want to assume that everybody had familiarity with R Markdown. So I just wanted to give a quick overview of how to use Markdown. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, thank you for coming. Yeah, I'm very happy that people were able to deploy their sites. Yeah, you should definitely, if you have a Twitter page or Twitter account or whatever, yeah, you should definitely, I'm just giving a plug for the Our Lady St. Louis chapter. But yeah, feel free to just, you know, tag me, tag Our Lady St. Louis, and let's see what you have and share your personal mark on the web.
Yeah, that would be awesome if y'all want to tag Our Lady St. Louis and show your new websites off.
Yeah.
So can everybody join me in thanking Dorris for spending her evening to teach us this great new skill. And if we were in a room, we could all clap.
Oh,
but I'll just hit my little clap.
I want to thank Janine too, because yeah, Janine did a lot of work at looking at the materials and making sure that they work. So, you know, let's all give Janine a clap because she too was very instrumental in making sure that things flowed, you know, like things flow, because yeah, this is really hard to do it virtually. So it was a lot of like talking and collaborating to get this to work, so we can make an experience that is as similar as we would have in real life.
Yeah.
In the virtual context.
Yeah, it was great. I understand this so much better now. I've tried to do it on my own like 5 times and I could never get it. So thank you very much. And if anyone wants to fill out the survey and give us some input on next year, that would be great. I'll put the link again. You can get a laptop sticker or not, whatever.
So I can put my address so I can get a sticker.
So yeah, you can put your address in here.
I really want a sticker.
That's an incentive to fill out the survey and let us know what topics you'd like to see, what times of day and day of the week you'd like to do this next year. And we may have a little bit of an expanded team running this Our Lady St. Louis next year too. So stay tuned for that. And thanks for helping to finish out our 2019-2020 season. And I hope you all have a happy, healthy rest of your semester in through summer. And we will hopefully see each other in person again in the fall.
Whoa, let's give a hand to Oscar. Oscar woke up at 2 a.m. to attend this workshop. Yeah.
Wow.
Good morning, Oscar.
Yeah, good morning.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for joining all the way from, wow.
That's amazing. If you want an Our Lady St. Louis sticker, you'll be the only one, I'm sure, in your area to have one. So I'd be happy to send it.
Yeah, I know one of my friends, we met at USAR 2019. Her name's Shell. And yeah, she runs so she's very active in our user community in Kenya. But thank you so much, Oscar.
Yeah, that's great. All right. I will leave the meeting open for a few more minutes in case y'all want to say goodbye or do any chatting with each other.
Whoa, we have someone
India.
From India, 6 a.m.
Where else is everybody from?
Yeah.
I'm in St. Louis.
I'm in St. Louis, and it is almost 8 p.m. here. But
Yeah.
I am, I guess the one good thing about these virtual meetings is that we're able to expand beyond our community just in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that is
Hey,
Canada.
Canada.
Wow.
Yeah.
4 countries represented so far.
Yeah,
Nice.
this is great. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much. And
All
will
right.
this
Well,
be, was this recorded, or like what if
yeah.
someone wanted to
Yeah,
hear
I've
my
been
ramble?
recording it. I turned off the recording while y'all were in the group rooms, and then
Okay.
I forgot to turn it back on for about 1 minute into the talk. And so there's like a couple of little short gaps where I was sleeping on the job, but otherwise it's recorded, and I will post it on our Twitter if you want to go back
Okay.
and look at anything Doris said as you're
Yeah.
developing your website.
Yeah, and if there's any questions, because I know like I was rambling, if there's any questions about like something I said was not clear, please just let me know and I will go back to that, I'll clarify for you.
Cool. Well, I guess I'll close out the window. People seem to be headed back to bed or something. And
Well,
I'll
good
see
night.
you next year. See you next fall.
Yeah, bye. Good
Bye.
night, good morning, all of that.